Hello, hello, happy day to you. This is, well, welcome to the replay. I am very excited to do this project with you. We're gonna do a super fun, totally homemade project. I'm really excited to share what I did. This is like a collaboration between my husband and I. And so I'll give you all the deets. Let me show you down here. So we took floorboards, boards that came out of my husband's brother's house. They were redoing their house. And we took those boards, cut them down, put them together, and made our own surface. Then we sanded it down, and I did a whitewash surface. Then we took some more boards and cut them, kind of like stripped them down, and I gray washed them. Okay, so I did a stain and then a gray wash, and I'll move this up so you can see. These are going to be the frame on this board, and so the board is completely made by floorboards from their old home, their home that was restored or renovated or whatever you want to say. So totally homemade board. Let me go back here so I can show you. So it's going to be kind of like a really cool handmade gift for them that we're giving them for Christmas. I'm going to be doing give us this day on there. Give us this day our daily bread. So isn't that cool? Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so you can kind of see where I am. I'm gonna peel off my transfer. This is a sticky one, so I wanna be careful. And we are gonna lay it down to fit. I kind of have some lines here, so I know where to stay. Should be good, and I gotta get it over to this side. Okay, that. We can lift it up. I need to move it up just a little. Move it up just, and move it down. Okay, I think I got it. Now, this is definitely a farmhouse rustic sign, and there are a lot of grooves on the board for sure. So we just kind of want to make sure that if there are any wrinkles, that they're not on the screen. And I'm pressing it down. I might, shoot, I pressed it down and I feel like it's not centered. Hold on, I just want to peel it off and move it this way a little, just a little. That, okay, I think that is better. I know, I just want it to be so perfect, because we're giving it as a gift. Because I'm giving this as a gift, I will spray it when I'm all done. So I will go ahead and take a spray sealant, any brand you want, and seal that off. Now, I'm gonna do the pull and peel method, and I kind of want to make a color that I don't have for the words. I want it to be a really dark blend of this brown, which is our bark, our storm, and a tiny touch of black. I want it to be like a darker, yeah. So I'm gonna do that mixing before I get into it. So I'm just gonna put some of the, because I do want it mostly this brown color. And I want to see what it looks like mixed with our storm. I know it will lighten it up slightly, which is why I brought out the black. So you can kind of see what I've got going, grabbing a stir stick. Okay, so we have the gray and the brown. So it's gonna lighten it up, but it's gonna still have that gray flare, which is what I want. And now I want a touch of black, not too much, enough to make it dark. And I may need just a little more brown in here. So I'm darkening up the gray is what I'm basically doing. Kind of emulating this gray finish that I have on the wood. I'm gonna do a little more bark if I can, get a little drop. And then mix that up. And this should be enough for the whole thing, all of the words. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I will be happy to answer them for you. There we go. So that's the color I'm going to be doing the words. Okay. I'm going to set that aside. Of course, you guys, again, it was bark, black velvet, and storm. And this is our sage. I want my sage to be a little darker as well. And we don't actually have a darker sage color, and so I need another little cup. Good thing I have two. I don't need a lot of sage, but we're gonna put a little dollop there. And I think just the tiniest little bit of bark. So when I mix them, I'm hoping it gets just a little darker, but still has the sage quality. I don't want it too light on this light board. I just wanted to get a little bit darker of a sage. And so it's almost just like a dirty sage color. I know that sounds kind of funky. I just wanted it a little twinge darker. I'm trying to scoop up all that. And I don't want any streaks in my color, so you definitely want to mix it. Well, that's a nice darker sage. Can you tell the difference? It's a little bit darker, a little bit muted. This is a little brighter for me. Okay, so we've got our two homemade colors that are going to go together on this board. And there are some wrinkles in my transfer, and so I'm going to be really careful when I get there. I need some squeegees. So let me grab some of those. Hopefully I have enough of this sage color to go around. All of the little greenery pieces here are going to be the sage color. It looks good. Just want to really make sure I've got it covered. Okay. I'll go ahead and do this one as well. carefully wipe that away. Now, we'll do some of our darker color on the words. Oh, this color looks really good. I'm really pleased. I do see wrinkles. This is an older transfer for me. Oh, I got a little black in there. Try to mix that up. And so because it's older, it does have a little more wear and tear. Get that color out of there. So I have to be careful, go slow. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is peel this up. Ooh, it looks so good. Any little issues that I have at this point, I will be fixing after it's dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and dry this. There are a couple little spaces that I'm gonna fix, but it'll be all good. I'm so in love with the color I made with the black and the bark and the slate. It's awesome. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop this back down gently, and I'm only gonna press down what I haven't done colored yet. So, or what I've chalked yet. So we gotta do the rest of these words. Looks like there's something right here that got worn away. Not happy with that, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a tiny little bit of placement tape and stick it there so that I don't, like I said, this is a well-used, worn transfer, and I don't want to get anything, you know, you can use them over and over, but sometimes you just have to be careful. All right, so let's go ahead and finish off the words with our homemade color. I love this color. Oh my gosh, I'm super, super excited. So you can make a board, honestly, with anything that you want. You know, all you have to do is get a little creative. Wood is so easy to use. It's really easy to finish. I did a whitewash technique on this, and so what I did is I sanded the entire thing, and then after I sanded it, I mixed together some white paint. I used a flat white paint, and then I mixed it with water. So you start out with equal portions of white paint and water, and you put it in like a little cup, and you just kind of, oh, there's my those were my wrinkles right there. I knew that was coming, but I have no fear. I will fix it. And you mix that paint and the water up really, really well, so that when you are done, you've got just a very milky white paint. And it's, you know, of course, the more paint you have in your mixture, the more opaque it will be and the less transparent it will be, obviously. However, you can do a couple coats with that, like do a coat, let it dry, do another coat. It depends on how much grain you want your board to have to see through. versus the white color. So what I did is I did 2 coats, and then because it has the water in there, it does pull up some of the fiber in the wood. So then you want to go over it lightly with another round of sanding, and that kind of finishes it off. Ooh, this is gonna be gorgeous. I tell you what, I think we have outdone ourselves today. This looks amazing. Now, I do want to fix a few places, but I'm gonna dry it off first. And grab a couple Q-tips. I know I'm gonna need those. This is gonna look so good. So just as a matter of testing out the color, look at that. It's gonna look really nice with this color of frame. Okay, so I'm gonna get my Q-tip wet, and I'm gonna go in here. So I have one little thing I need to wash off of this. Now I did go ahead and wax this board because I knew that I was going to be chalking it. So I wanted to wax it. So this makes cleanup so much easier to do when you wax. And I knew I was gonna seal it after the fact. So that will come later on. Okay, now I'm going to move to a new Q-tip, and I'm just getting the tip wet with water to kind of clean this. Oh my goodness, the boys are having too much fun upstairs. All right, so that looks, this could get a little bit cleaned up. Looks pretty good from my vantage point. Maybe up here a little, there's a little leak. There. That looks good. I know I'm being uber picky on this, because once I seal it, there isn't anything I can do to fix. Okay. Next thing, there's a little tiny spot that needs to be filled in with a paintbrush. So I'm going to grab my paintbrush. I'm going to dip it into my chalk color, and I'm just going to fill that in. There are a couple of them, especially along this little, like the cracks of the wood. We did a really good job. My husband did a good job of sanding it down and kind of like sanding it together. But there were a couple places. So here's another one. Let me get a little bit more chalk paste on my brush and just kind of fill that in. There. Looks really good, which makes me happy because it's for a gift, not for myself. When it's for myself, I'm like, it's all right. So, let's do this or not. Why isn't it working? There we go. Hello. So here it is in real life next to me. That light color green is perfect. Their home is very like farmhouse white and gray. So here's it's going to be framed later after I do this, after I spray it, and then we'll get that fixed. So isn't that cool? I love it, I love it, I love it. It's gonna be beautiful. Well, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you are not inside my VIP group, you need to make sure you're in there. type add me in the comments and I'll get you in. If you're curious and you want to, you know, invest in yourself for the new year, if you want to learn more about becoming a designer like me, type team in the comments and I will get you information you need. And of course, if you're ready to have a little bit of Chalk Couture in your life every month, you may be interested in our Club Couture subscription program. It's $19.99 a month and you get a fun kit to work on every single month. So type club in the comments if you're interested in that. Thank you so much for hanging with me and I appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day.